Alright, so negative divided by a negative is positive. So what I'll do to start out is just cancel out those negatives. You don't have to worry about them again. The numerator and denominator each is divisible by 2. 8 divided by 2 is 4. 10 divided by 2 is 5. With your variables, I have x to the second. Cancel that out. Subtract 2 from 3, and you're left with a 1. So the simplified form is 4x over 5. Real fast, you had x times x times x over x times x. 2 pairs canceled out, you're just left with an x in the numerator. Sometimes you'll be given a fraction to simplify and there's really not much to do other than deal with these negatives. Negative divided by a negative is a positive, so I just cross them out. The simplified form is a positive 7/10. I'll address the negative sign situation here specifically. Negative 3/5 is simplified. You could write that as negative 3/5, so you can put the negative sign in front. In this case, you could also write it as 3 over negative 5. Each of these fractions means essentially the same thing. But my preference is to put the negative sign in front. For me, that's the clearest meaning. When 0 shows up in either the numerator or the denominator, you have to know how to answer this correctly. The simplified form of this fraction is 0. The simplified form of this fraction is undefined. You have to keep this straight. I'll spend the next few minutes explaining why these are treated so differently. So if you're given the fraction 12/4, this is 12 divided by 4. We could write that as 12 divided by 4. It's equal to 3, but what you might not realize is division is actually defined in terms of multiplication. That is, 12 divided by 4 is equal to 3 if 3 times 4 is equal to 12. So again, 12 divided by 4 is 3 if 3 times 4 is equal to 12. So 14/7 is 14 divided by 7. 14 divided by 7 is 2 if 2 times 7 is 14, and it is. So that checks out, just as this one checked out. So again, this is actually how division is defined in terms of multiplication. Division is defined in terms of multiplication. Let's check out what happens with when 0 is involved. So 0 divided by 5 can be written as 0 divided by 5, and I say that's equal to 0. We'll check this. This is true if 0 times 5 equals 0, and it does. So this checks out. So 5 divided by 0 can be written as 5 divided by 0. And I say the answer is undefined, but if you want to try a 0, I have to emphasize we're trying this because this is not a correct statement, but I'm going to try to show you why it's not correct. 5 divided by 0 equals 0 if 0 times this number 0 equals this number 5. And I think you can see this is not a true statement. So 0 is incorrect, and the correct answer is undefined. If you understand the logic of this, that's great. If this gives you trouble or you don't feel like you're going to remember the details of it, what you truly have to remember is that the simplified form of this fraction is 0, and if you're given this fraction, it is undefined. If you would like a little practice with this, as long as you're at MrBforMath.com, you can download the worksheet. I have 18 questions to practice on, and as always, there's a detailed answer key.